Hello and welcome to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to be doing an oil change on a Honda S2000. This is my personal Honda S2000. It is an AP2, it's a 2004. This service procedure will apply to both the AP1 and the AP2. You're going to need 6 quarts of 10W30 and your oil filter. We're going with the Amsoil Signature Series 10W30. This is subjectively and arguably the best motor oil on the market. It is good to well over 300 degrees. It exceeds all the specifications set forth by Honda. It is really good stuff. It has really good cold flow and high temperature operation. It doesn't like to vaporize and turn into a gas under high loads or temperatures. Very good shear film strength. And it is guaranteed for 1 year, and on naturally aspirated engines such as this, up to 25,000 miles, which is actually quite incredible. This is my first oil change with the vehicle. I just got it 2 years ago. I will run this oil for the next year or 25,000 miles, which a year is probably going to come first. I will do an oil analysis and get that out to you guys so that you can see the benefits of it. I do run this oil in my other vehicles, and I've done oil analysis on them, and the sample comes back good every time. I have a GT350 that I track. Sample comes back good, and I have a Ford Fusion that is a 2015 with the 2-liter turbo engine. This oil is good for 15,000 miles on a turbocharged engine, so I run it for about 12 to 14,000 miles, and it's at 160,000 miles on the original powertrain, turbo, everything. Nothing's been replaced. So I do strongly believe in this oil. I've been using it and been a dealer with them for over 5 years now. Nothing but happy customers. I install it, I do oil changes, or just sell it. No complaints whatsoever. Honestly, the hardest thing is getting someone to change their mindset towards a brand of oil. A lot of people are brand loyal to an oil, and they think that's the best thing in the world. I go with what I've seen through personal experience and lab testing, and I have yet to find an oil that beats this oil. So before we get started, drop a like down below and comment down below, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's get started. All right, so I know I said in the intro that you're gonna need 6 quarts of oil, and that's because the vehicle technically takes 5.1. So you will need a 6 quart to get the oil level to the correct level. First thing you do whenever you do an oil change is you want to get the oil warm, if not hot. That's up to you if you don't mind getting burned. But you always want to check the oil level, and the reason I say that is you want to see how not only the oil performed during that last oil change interval, however long you went, but it's also a good indication of the health of the engine. If you've got an engine that's burning an excessive amount of oil, you'll be able to note that on the dipstick. So if you went 5,000 miles and it burned a quart of oil, that's not really something to be alarmed with. But if it's been 1,000 miles and you've burned 1.5 to 2 quarts in oil, then you might be having some engine issues. Again, running the Amsoil, I've never had any oil consumption issues in any of the vehicles I've run it in, and that includes track days with the GT350, and that thing is a monster. So it's a very high revving engine, just like this one, and it loves to rev. So we've already checked the oil level. It's good, but it's only been in there for 1,000 miles, so that's expected. Next thing we're going to do is remove the fill cap, which is on the back here of the engine. You just want to remove that to allow a good even drain when you pull the drain plug. And then we're just going to install our funnel there at the back. Next, we're going to go ahead and raise the vehicle on the lift. If you're doing this on the ground, jack and jack stands, just make sure you properly chock the wheels and put the e-brake on. All right, we're under the vehicle now. Got the drain bucket positioned under the engine. Whenever I'm doing an oil change on a vehicle that has a top side oil filter or a bottom side oil filter, I always like to release the oil filter first to allow any residual to drain into the pan. So we're gonna take our filter claw and remove the filter. Once you break it free, then you can release it by hand. So now we're just gonna adjust the drain bucket and remove the filter. Just be careful, once you do break the seal, oil will come out. Just gonna let that drip down into the oil pan below and slowly back the filter off. So that when it does break free of the spindle, that it doesn't just plop down and potentially shoot oil everywhere like that. You can catch it and then just gently drop it into your pan. Next thing you want to do is actually take some engine oil and lubricate the seal on the filter. This is going to help provide not only a good seal, but it's also going to prevent it from getting stuck when you go to remove it next time. Because this filter's kind of installed at an angle, you can't really pre-fill it, but we're going to go ahead and add just a little bit. Because we do have 6 quarts, we can afford to miss some, but we're not going to fill it up all the way. We're just going to put some in there just to help out a little bit, and then we're going to go install this on the engine. This is Amsoil's line of EA. I know it's upside down. I'll invert that, but it's their EA15K20 filter. This filter is designed to go that 15,000 miles. If you're not going to push the oil past, I would say probably 8 or 9, a regular OEM filter is probably going to work just fine for you. But because I don't know how many miles I'm going to do over this next year, and I don't want to do an extra filter change, I'm just going to put the good filter on now. It's a very high quality filter, fully silicone valve in there, steel liner, and very good high quality paper synthetic media. Just gonna make sure the old gasket from the old filter didn't stay stuck on the adapter, and then take your new filter. And spin it on. Once it gets flush with the block, just gonna keep turning it. Doesn't need to be crazy tight, but basically once it gets flush, another full turn, 3/4 to a full turn after that will be fine. Next, we can go ahead and release the oil. All right, so to release the oil, you're gonna need a 17mm wrench. Break it free. Make sure your drain pan position is appropriate, because it's gonna come out and shoot about 6 to 10 inches out. Normally, it's better to prepare for the worst. And you're gonna let that drain for 5 to 10 minutes. All right, once the oil comes to a slow stream, I mean, you can let it drain all day, but go ahead and reinstall the drain plug. Make sure the crush washer is still on the drain plug. If your filter came with a replacement, you can go ahead and replace it. Just stick your 17mm on and tighten her down. And then just take some brake clean and spray the filter and the drain plug area down to get all the residue off. Now we can go ahead and lower the vehicle and add the oil. So now we're going to go ahead and add 5 quarts of 10W30. I really do like the Amsoil products. They're great products. If you've already seen the transmission fluid video, I mean, I know these transmissions already shift the shift feeling is very satisfying, but after putting the Amsoil Synchromesh transmission fluid in it, it almost took it up another notch. It feels fantastic. Couldn't be happier with it. All right, so this is quart number 5. Now we're going to remove the fill funnel, just kind of place it to the side. Put the oil fill cap back on, and then we're going to start and idle the vehicle for a little bit to allow oil to fill the filter, circulate, check the oil level, and then we'll top off as needed. Because like I said, it takes that additional 1/10 of a quart per the engine fill spec. You're also going to take this time to inspect the oil filter. Make sure you've got no pools or drips of oil coming from the engine. So that's all good there. Like I said, just let it run for a good 5, maybe 10 minutes if you've got the time, to allow the oil to get some temperature to it, fully fill all the galleys back up, and circulate to get an accurate reading. All right, so it's been about 7 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down. And then check the oil level. Just pull the dipstick out the first time and give it a good clean wipe. Fully seat the dipstick and pull it out. All right, so this oil is so clear that it's hard to get an accurate reading on this dipstick. But it is just at the bottom of the hash marks. So the 5.1 quarts is pretty accurate. So we're gonna go ahead and reinstall the dipstick, remove the fill cap. And then just add a touch of oil. And then just add a touch of oil. The Amsoil quarts come with measuring devices on the side in both liters and quart and ounces. So 32 ounces in a quart. So we want to put this at just about 28. I don't know if that's coming through on the camera, but we are at 5.1 quarts now. Go ahead and remeasure. Bingo. It is just a tick, I don't know if you can see it, but it's just a tick under the hash mark, under the high side. So we are good to go. Go ahead and reinstall that. Wipe down any oil residue. Remove our funnel. and reinstall our fill cap, and we are good to go. This is going to conclude our Honda S2000 oil change service using the Amsoil Signature Series 10W30. I will have links to the Amsoil products and website down below that you can go through and order. You can even become a preferred customer, which will get you 25% off all your Amsoil products for a year. The membership cost is only $20, so it does pay for itself after about $75 worth of purchases. You also get free shipping over $100. So if you order a case of this oil, you'll have 2 oil changes stocked up for, and you'll get the entire shipment for free. You can use their filter if you'd like I said before. Unless you're going over that 7,000 to 8,000, 9,000 mile mark, it's not necessary. They are high quality filters, but they are fairly expensive. So that is up to you. Don't forget to like and share this video. Comment down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts and what kind of oils you've tried before and what your results were. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching this. Stick around for more S2000 content because it's on the way, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.